So here it is, the Lincoln Electric Weld-Pak 140 HD. This MIG welder is 120 volt on a 20 amp circuit. It can weld up to 24 gauge up to 5/16. As you can see here, you can run the Flux-Core shielded wire. Lincoln calls it inner shield, I believe. And then you can run regular steel welding wire without the Flux-Core with argon or CO2. So I'm going to end up getting a tank for this. And you can also weld aluminum with this. Alright, so here we go. Here we got manual, some safety stickers it looks like, and a DVD on how to use it. Well, that came off easy. Oh, that was just sitting on the side. The front nozzle. Here's the gas gauges. Set those aside. This thing is pretty heavy. Our handle, our cable, ground clamp, torch tip and lens cup, the ground cable, and gas line hose. And we have 025 mild steel to use with the argon, and then we have 035 Flux-Core. Their inner shield. It's like Lincoln brand, so that's good. And that's it. Alright. Let's set these aside. We won't be needing gas today. I didn't buy my argon tank yet, so I'm just going to be welding with the shielded wire. Let's take a look at this guy. Nice little latch there. And here we have more assembly instructions, it looks like. Yep. This is the setup guide, so that's nice. Down here is our, I think it's for the wheel. Yep. So this is just for the spool, I believe, but we'll get to that. Cool, and then it has this nice handy chart here for however you're welding. We're going to be using the inner shield and probably welding, I don't know, probably about 10 gauge steel, so we'll get to that though. Let me take you guys around to the front. This is the Weld-Pak 140 HD from Lincoln, It does come with a 3-year warranty. Home Depot will also ask if you want to buy one, but I just use the Lincoln one. This is your feed speed, wire feed speed, 0 to 10, and then this is your amperage change. Amperage increases from A to D, and you don't want to switch that while welding. So, and here's a quick look at the chart. I can get that to focus. There we go. On switch is down here in the front, and then here's where your wire hooks up and your gas. Let's see, actually, yeah, here's where your gas would inject. So I guess the gas is in the back. Yep. And it does have a cooling fan, and it is 120 volts, so that's good. You can plug it into any 20 amp wall outlet. So I'm going to get things figured out here, and then I'll walk you through some of the simple assembly. Just a quick thing, it also comes with a register your product, pamphlet here, and a parts list for this series, the 125 and the 140, which we have the 140. And then inside the manual here, we can see some specs on this, just so you guys can know. The output is a 20% duty cycle and 90 amps at 90 amps current. That's what it's rated at. So your welding range is actually only 30 to 140 at the open circuit voltage, 33 volts. And also to note, if you are going to use an extension cord, you need a number 12 AWG or larger, and you can't go longer than 50 foot on that. This is single phase. So in the setup guides, the front page is set up for Flux-Core welding, and the back in English is set up for shielded gas. And there's different components you have to install for each one. For example, the welding gun and cable already comes set up for Flux-Core with this black Flux-Core gun nozzle. This is gasless, so you wouldn't use this on a gas setup. You would use the bronze one that comes with it. It also comes with the 035 thousandths tip on here, which is what our shielded wire is, so we're going to leave that on. But if you were to switch to the unshielded steel, you want to use these 025s or whatever size you're using for your welder. So this is how I'll show you guys how it wants you to set up the grounding work lead, they call it. I'm gonna need to get some pliers. Hold on. All right, so you just want to grab a 9/16 wrench and pull off this this nut here. Take the washer off. Then, per the instructions, it says to place it with the flat side down, contacting the ground clamp completely. Then put the copper washer on, and then finally this nut. And I believe it comes with two, just to, I'm not sure. I'm going to double check that. Okay, so I was wrong. You actually want to leave this one on there. So leave that on tight, your first nut. Then place your ground clamp connector over that, then your washer, and then the other nut. that's right. We'll find out. Oh, and you probably should have done what I should have done this like this. Should have inserted that first, so you can run the ground clamp wire down here. That's all right. So you want to make sure this is straight. Like that. Not too tight, just make it snug. Then get your cable and run it through the rightmost circular one. There, here. And the setup guide shows you exactly how to set this up, but mine came pre-set up for Flux-Core welding from the factory. So I'm just going to make sure that this one, they call this the short wire, make sure that it's secure onto the negative terminal, and it was. Make sure that's tight. And I'm going to take off the positive terminal and put my ground clamp wire on there. Onto the positive terminal, and make sure it's not touching the negative at all. I'm putting mine vertically. And make sure that is tight as well. I'll show you. That's exactly how they tell you to do it right here.